Hey friends, it's Sarah from Gilkey's Limited Adventures, and we're back with another video. I'm so excited about this series. It seems like you guys are loving it. So what I'm doing essentially is showing you the 7 meals that I make for supper each week, what I'm buying at the grocery store, and how I stock my pantry up a little bit each week. And I love showing budget-friendly meals, quick and easy meals, but also elaborate home cooking meals. And this week I've been doing some late night scrolling and found some of those, YouTube shorts or Facebook reels kind of meals. You're like, oh, that looks so good, I'm gonna make it. Well, I made a couple of those too. I can't help myself when I see new recipes like that. They're so much fun to try to copy and make your own. My cooking style is kind of eclectic, something for everyone, but I really try to be realistic. So I really hope that if you're liking this series that you will subscribe and then come along with us each Wednesday to see what's for dinner. Here we are with the weekly Walmart grocery haul, and this week I spent $91. I'll bring you in closer and let you see everything I got. It really does seem like a lot of groceries for only $91. So let's get started, and then I'll finish with, of course, the $20 stock up. We have some ham. I'm thinking of making a focaccia bread, but we'll see, with ham on it. But I did get some hot dogs because I want to make some fun pigs in a blanket, and some blackberries because we just like those. A couple tunas for lunches. I got this pork because I'm going to use this pork with this coleslaw and these onions and these wonton wrappers and this chili crisp oil and these sesame seeds to make wonton taco, I think they're called. I can't exactly remember, but when you're scrolling at night and you see these great recipes, well, I found something that looks so good. I got these sugar snap peas to go with another Asian meal I'm making. I have these street tacos to go with this fish for some fish tacos, and we'll add some of this coleslaw too. Some generic Sprite and some Pepsi Zero. A container of guinea pig lettuce. Now I'm going to go over to this $20 stock up. So this week's category was easy sides. So I want to stock up my pantry with some easy side dishes. So I did get some ramen. Those are super cheap, but they're great with an Asian meal, or like I made last week, that egg roll in a bowl ramen. So those are always nice to have on hand. This taco rice is a great side dish, but it's also so good in like bean and cheese and rice burritos, or in enchiladas, anything. You can put it in your food, or you can have it on the side, or you can just make like a Tex-Mex style rice with that. I love that. So that's 3 of those. 2 stovetops, because that's a nice easy side to have when you're having chicken or turkey. 4 mac and cheeses. There's our little kitty Winnie. And I got those because I like to have pulled pork on mac and cheese or chili on mac and cheese. It's kind of like a chili mac. That's one of my favorite easy meals when we have leftover chili and I just cook up a box of mac and cheese. So I stocked up on those. And then we have these 2 butter and herb mashed potatoes and these 2 buttery potatoes. Now those potatoes are super easy to make if you need a quick and easy mashed potato for like a KFC bowl that you make at home or something like that when you don't feel like making homemade mashed potatoes. So all of those items right there I just named, all of these were only $20. So these are all going in our pantry for our stock up, and I think that's going to really help to get us through this winter. So here is an overview again, $91 at Walmart. This $20 a week mini stock up has really been helping to fill up our pantry for the winter. If you can't afford $20, I would suggest even $5 or $10 because this is a great way to fill up your pantry for the winter, or anytime something may come up and you need that extra food around. Now, it is trick or treat at our house. It's the Sunday before Halloween. Our town does it on the Sundays, and here is Mr. Gilkey handing out candy to the little ones. Now, day 1, after trick-or-treating, we really wanted a nice, easy meal, so I'm going to make some fish tacos. I just put the fish in the air fryer, and then I put my tortillas on top of the air fryer to warm up. It's just a nice little easy hack that I use sometimes. Now, I took that chili lime seasoning from the Ruby's Pantry haul, and I mixed it with sour cream, and look at it, it's bright pink. But that's okay, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna put this on each tortilla that I'm gonna then make into the fish tacos. And yeah, it looks a little bit weird. It was hard to get past that pink color, but it was fine. I added a little bit of coleslaw mix and then our fish right on top of it. It was a nice, quick, easy meal after handing out candy for the afternoon. I always love having a few quick meals in the rotation for our weekly meals, just so if you have those busy days or busy nights that you can throw something together. There's our meal for day 1. Now we're on to day 2, and I saw this online and I just thought this is a perfect, easy meal that I think everyone's going to love. So I'm going to make a sheet pan meal using pierogies. I love pierogies. They're a potato-filled pasta, basically a pasta pocket with potatoes. They're delicious, but I'm just going to cut up some of these peppers. I also got those at that Ruby's Pantry haul. If you haven't seen the video, it's really funny. It was a couple weeks ago, but I definitely recommend going back and watching it. I'm going to add some chopped onions too. I just made those like big chopped pieces. And then I took these also from Ruby's Pantry, these turkey cheddar sausages, and just cut them up into little pieces. I'm going to set those aside while I get everything put together. On top of these veggies, I just drizzled a little bit of olive oil. And really, you can put any seasonings that you want. For this, of course, I used the Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse because I love that seasoning. A little bit of garlic, and a little bit of seasoned salt. And I just stirred that all around. Now, I did it a little bit different than the recipe I saw online because I wanted my veggies to get nice and tender. So I lined the whole bottom with the veggies. Instead of separating everything, I did it in layers. Now I'm going to do the same thing with these pierogies. I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top and then any of your favorite seasonings. I did the same ones, the Kinder's, the garlic, the seasoned salt, and then I just gently set them on top of the peppers and onions because I want the peppers and onions to keep contact with that metal pan so they get nice and tender in the oven. Then on top of these, I added that sausage. And because these are turkey cheddars, I knew that some of the cheese and the grease would come out on top of the pierogies, and that's perfect. So I tried to set as many as I could right on top. My cute little Halloween decor. Put these in the oven, 400 degrees, 30 minutes. Put it in there and forget about them. They came out perfectly done. Tender, tiny little bit browned. They were so good. This was such an easy meal. One I'm totally going to add into our rotation again because it was so good and so easy. If you've never tried pierogies, I highly recommend them, especially in this method. You can also boil them, but these were so flavorful and tender. That's our meal for day number 2. And now we're on to day 3, and this is getting elaborate. I saw this recipe late night scrolling on Facebook, and I just had to try it. I'm going to make some open face wonton tacos. I love that kind of Asian gingery taste. And I saw someone make these and I thought those look so good. And I've never made anything with wonton wrappers, so this was a first for me, and it was a lot of ingredients. But if you want the recipe, I'll definitely put it below. Just let me know. But it was just soy sauce and sesame oil and chili crunch oil and this rice vinegar and coleslaw and chopped green onions and just so many different things. I'm making a sauce for the side, but then in this big blue bowl, I'm also making the meat mixture. So it does take a lot of those seasonings. Oh, and don't forget the sugar because that makes it really good, and a little bit of water. And that's my sauce. Now into the big blue bowl, we're going to add this ground pork, and it was in my microwave defrosting, so it got a little cooked on the ends, but that's fine. A little bit of garlic and the onions. And I love this ginger from Trader Joe's. They also make garlic the same way. I had to defrost that a little bit, and then I added in a couple handfuls of this cabbage mix and then a little bit of sugar, and then I'm just going to get the gloves on and stir this all together. I got my wonton wrappers all laid out on parchment paper ready to go.
And then once I stirred this together, you really just need to put a thin layer on each one of those wonton wrappers. And I did it and laid it back on the parchment paper because I want to fry them all together so they get done at the same time. I've never done anything like this before. I don't know if this is easier than making them as like closed up wontons, but it was definitely fun. I put them on my griddle. I waited till they were nice and golden brown on one side and then flipped them over and let them get nice and golden brown on the other side. Now, while those wonton tacos are cooking, I made this little side dish. It was literally just some lo mein noodles, some Asian veggies, the rest of the coleslaw mix, and I added that sauce on top and just stirred it around. Nothing fancy, pretty easy. Now, when the wonton tacos were done, I did put them on this cookie cooling rack just to keep them nice and crispy. And here is our reaction to this new recipe.
We're gonna put a little bit of the sauce on. Do a little taste test.
Okay.
Pork wonton or wonton tacos, or
Okay.
supposed to fold them like a taco, but it's kind of slippery.
Oh yeah, it is.
Here we go. Here's what they look like. Hot. That's good. That's so good.
It reminds me of those wonton tacos at Applebee's.
A little bit. It's crispy. It's got delicious Asian flavors.
Yeah, that's a hit. We'll need to do that one again.
That was a ton of work, but I think it might be worth it. Those
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well done, honey.
They might be like 2 biters though. Wow, or 3 bites only. Yeah, thumbs up.
Thumbs way up.
So delicious and definitely something I will be making again. Even though it wasn't the easiest recipe I've ever made, it is definitely worth it. And it just goes to show that sometimes that late night scrolling does end up with some great recipes. I did have a lot of that pork mixture left, so I ended up just browning it in a pan into kind of these little meatballs, and I'm going to use it for something in a recipe coming up. Now we're on to day number 4, and I'm going to make some homemade pizza. And if you've ever looked at any other videos on our channel, I made an old-fashioned school pizza. Remember school lunch pizza in like the 80s? I've made that just for fun, like a copycat version, but the crust is kind of fun. It's like a pourable kind of bready crust. So I thought I'm going to make a kind of Halloween themed pizza for tonight because of course it is the week of Halloween and this is a nice, easy, pourable crust. So if you want this recipe, I can link that video below. Just let me know. I just made the dough and like, see what I mean? It's pourable, meaning you pour it out on a pan and then spread it around. Then this goes in the oven just to get a little bit brown while you get everything else ready. And I'm going to make homemade pizza sauce using this tomato sauce because I didn't realize I had no pizza sauce, and this worked out just fine. Once that crust was done, I pulled it out of the oven and I put a little bit of cheese on it. This is kind of their hack to keep the sauce sticking to the crust. So you put a little bit of cheese on it first, and then you basically just spread that pizza sauce all on top of it. Now, I would much rather have a store-bought pizza sauce than this tomato sauce, but it worked because it's all I had. And I'm gonna put some of this hamburger. I'm making this into a cheeseburger style pizza. So I did add some pickles to the top too, just to give it that more hamburger taste. And I season that meat with hamburger seasoning. I add a little bit more cheddar cheese on top, and we're gonna bake this for about 15 minutes. This was a pretty crazy creation. I don't know if I would make it again. I've had pickles on pizza and I actually do like it, but this was a little bit weird. Now, because it is the week of Halloween and we were gonna watch some Halloween things on TV, I decided to make this a little bit spooky by cutting out some ghosts with some Swiss cheese. When this came out of the oven, I just laid those cute little ghosts right on top and let them melt from the residual heat of that pizza. And see why I made it cheeseburger? Because I wanted the pizza to be orange so the ghosts would show up. I do fun stuff. We don't have any kids at home anymore, but I still like to do fun things. And then I cut these in those great big rectangular shapes, just like your school lunch pizzas back in the 80s. This was interesting. It was pretty good. I don't know if I'd make it like this again, but it was fun to have. Now we're on to day 5, and I have got to give a shout out to Beth, who gave me this great idea. She watched our Ruby's Pantry haul video and said I should make a Mexican street corn chowder with that street corn dip that I got there, and that's exactly what I did. I used these potatoes and made kind of a potato corn chowder using that Mexican street corn, and boy was it good. I started with some chicken broth, and I love to use that Weiler's powdered broth, but you know, you can use whatever your favorite is. I cut up the potatoes into small little bite-sized pieces, and I just got those nice and tender in that chicken broth before I added anything else. This corn that I have is actually some corn that I got this summer. Boiled it on the cob and cut it off the cob and froze it so we could have nice fresh corn all winter. It is so good that way. Then I used this Mexican street corn spread. I just put it in there and it made it nice and creamy. It's got some heat. It's a little bit spicy, but using the potatoes and all that chicken broth really tamed it down. Now, normally I would do this with a potato masher, but my potato masher was rusty and I had to throw it away a few weeks ago. So I have another one on order, don't worry. But right now I'm just trying to manually mush these potatoes to make it a little bit thicker. And look at how it turned out. It was so good. It's like got that spicy Mexican street corn kind of taste with the cilantro. It was nice and creamy. The potatoes were good and that corn was perfect. Okay, here we go. I'm calling it
Mexican street corn potato chowder.
potato street corn chowder. How about that?
Yeah.
Ooh, this bowl is really hot. Okay, here we go.
Potato street corn chowder?
It's so hot. He didn't get to try that that spread, so this is your first time tasting it.
I love the fresh corn.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little bit of heat in the back of my throat.
Spicy.
But it's got that kind of that Mexican street corn taste.
Mm-hmm.
Like it nails that pretty good. And she did bring some chips out because that's exactly what it needs. I don't know if any of it, one of my favorite movies of all time is Nacho Libre.
Needed some cheese.
When he does the cheese like that,
Yeah.
you know, that's what it needs, and I think it's going to be fantastic.
When he's down here clawing at me, so she wants to be in the video. Hi, you want to say hi? You want to say hi, sweet girl? This is our little baby Winnie. All right.
Good job. That's a hit.
It's a hit.
That's good use of that.
I like it. I'm gonna like it as dip too, but it was fun to put it in a soup. I've been really excited to try this meal.
Kind of a good use of like a mystery product, in my opinion.
Yeah, the potatoes came from Ruby's Pantry. The chips, the corn dip. That's it.
I didn't. Everything else. That's fantastic. Good job.
And now it's day 6 and it's actually Halloween and we're going to watch something spooky on TV. Well, not that spooky, but you know, like rated PG kind of spooky because we don't like too scary of stuff. But I was again late night scrolling and saw this recipe and couldn't wait to try it. This is one of those kind of viral onion ring kind of hacks where it's low carb, I think, and they use Parmesan cheese and these slices of onions. So I grated up some fresh Parmesan, added the onions, and then you can put any kind of seasoning, I guess. I used, of course, the buttery steakhouse, a little bit of salt, and my tiny little cute cat salt shake. Is that not just the cutest thing? And then I did a little bit of garlic seasoning as well, and then top each one of them with some more Parmesan cheese. And this went in the oven at 425 degrees for about 20 minutes or so. Of course, it's Halloween, so I got the little Halloween decor. Now, while these were cooking, I'm going to make something else in the air fryer, and I'm going to make the cutest little mummy hot dogs. They're like pigs in a blanket, but you make them look like mummies. So that was the fun Halloween meal for tonight. I just took some crescent rolls, cut it up into strips with my pizza cutter and then just wrap these hot dogs to look like mummies. And the thing is, the messier the better, because then they just look like real fake Halloween mummies. So you can't really screw this up. This is a fun thing you can do with your kids for Halloween. Definitely a cute, fun project. And they just taste like pigs in a blanket, so you can't really go wrong with these. And then I just put them in the air fryer for about 10 minutes or so. It really did not take long to cook at all. It made 8 perfectly with 1 package of crescent rolls and 1 package of hot dogs. Now, when these came out, I did little dots of mustard for eyes, and are these not the cutest little things? And they taste good too. So I would highly recommend. I've been making these since my son was young. So I serve these little mummy hot dogs with these little onion rings. And you have to let them get a little bit burnt because you want them to be crispy and hold up. They're supposed to taste like onion rings. Now, I'll give you my reaction in just a second. But here is our plate full of food. And isn't it the cutest? Those mummies turned out so adorable.
How cute. How cute are these for Halloween? I've been wanting to make these crispy onion things forever. Let's try them. Crunchy. Ooh, they're so hot. I want to like them more than I do. People say they taste just like onion rings. They taste like Parmesan cheese that's melted. They're okay. They're not going to be my favorite. I think I'd rather have an onion ring, but aren't these things the cutest? Happy Halloween.
And now on to day 7, and we were going on a little shopping trip, so we went out for brunch. I had a biscuits and gravy skillet bowl, and William had a pancake flight, which is 3 different kinds of pancakes. He had a cinnamon roll, a lemon blueberry, and a strawberry cheesecake, and he let me try each one, and they were delicious.
That was such a fun week. I love making fun foods. I love fall. I love Christmas time too. I'm excited about that coming up. I hope you guys don't mind seeing my little kitties in the videos because they're a big part of our family. We have 3 of the cutest little Devon Rex kittens. If you haven't seen other videos on our channel, my husband tells them jokes every Saturday, cat dad jokes. But I'm glad you're here. If you're new, I am Sarah. My husband is William. We are Gilkey's Limited Adventures because my husband is legally blind. So our adventures are limited, but they're still a ton of fun and we haven't stopped living. We're still doing everything that we used to, but things are a little bit different. I also love cooking. I love home cooking and I love sharing it with others. I like to get ideas from people. I like to give ideas. So if you have any ideas, let me know, or let me know what you have for dinner, because this is all about sharing ideas. So you get ideas from me, I'll get ideas from you. But thanks so much for watching and we'll see you next week.